certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. Who is certifying these pedophiles? In order to get a black belt, you need to get black belt certified by a sensei. Who is the sensei of pedophilia? Did Epstein pop out, pull up back from hell to give Drake his badge of honor? So I'm finally back on camera after months of hiding behind the Attack on Titan gameplay.
Why did I let myself devolve into such a half-assed piece of shit?
So, I want to say, the reason I'm back is because I just got back from Turkey to get my BBL, feeling amazing, gender affirmed, feeling trans-tastic, which leads us into the topic of today's video. Sneako versus Kris Tyson, battle of the mid if I've ever seen it.
Hey Anthony, congratulations on buying Smosh.
And we also got some other characters involved in this, like Nickmercs. Don't know too much about Nickmercs. I think he has a cousin, it's like Nick... Is it Gurr? I wanted to talk about Kris Tyson for a bit now, just because I think it's so fascinating the fact that this person orbits the biggest creator on all of YouTube. Like, you're getting the biggest astroturfed career of all time, literally like the biggest signal boost ever known to mankind, and you have 17,000 subscribers, bro. Some of these videos have 12,000 views. And again, like, people criticize me for the whole, like, view count watching, the pocket watching, the meat watching. No pun intended regarding this person, I promise. That wasn't some sort of weird allegory. When I say me watching, I'm more talking about the view count, not... Okay, fuck me. Anyway, like 9,000 views on this video. I just can't fathom the fact that this person is consistently in videos that have tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of views, yet their own personal YouTube career is on life support. Anyway, this all starts off with Nickmercs dropping this tweet because he had been in some controversy regarding his transphobic comments or whatever. I don't really care, but he made this tweet responding to these allegations of transphobia or whatever. So here's the tweet from this Neanderthal.
Yo. Checking in. Look, I open Twitter. Bunch of my mentions are he, they, she, hey, they. Fucking, I identify as a helicopter. God damn it.
Am I right? Am I right, guys? Helicopter. Me when I literally was cryopreserved from 2016 and they just unfroze me. No, I mean, obviously, I'm giving him a hard time, but, and look, obviously you stop kind of paying attention to the ebb and flow of internet trends once you've hit Unk status like this guy has. So I'm not expecting him to understand that the whole attack helicopter thing died like fucking 7 years ago. To be fair, though, I mean, Twitter is full of, LGBT trans people who are very annoying, so I'll give him a pass.
And I seen the couple tweets about the doc. I'm as taken back as a lot of you guys are, okay? But the fact remains that these are some crazy accusations. Crazy. Big time accusations. And until we know more, until we know them as fact, until they've been proven with evidence, what are we talking about? What's anybody talking about? As far as...
Yes, of course. Highest legal authority, Nickmercs, chiming in here to say, wait until evidence is provided. Fair enough. Good point, actually. So this was made in response to the recent Dr. Disrespect allegations. Nickmercs jumps in to say, as a personal friend of Dr. Disrespect, we gotta wait for actual receipts to be provided. I mean, you know, going back to the Dr. Disrespect situation for a second, these people who are alleging shit against him, they still have not supplied any amount of proof, which, as someone who is paying attention to news and stuff pretty frequently, I do happen to care about evidence when talking about stories that surround allegations and stuff. That happens to matter. The evidence whole part of thing, the whole, like, proving that the fucking thing took place actually matters.
As the leave little kids alone stuff, this doesn't make it any further from the truth. Leave little children out of your shit. Have a nice day.
Okay, fair enough. So, anyway, he goes to drop that tweet right there. He was talking about he, she, they, attack helicopter or whatever. And it's a 1-second clip that Kris Tyson took to make a meme about me every time I post on Twitter, hashtag positive or /positive. So what they do is they reappropriate something transphobic to be trans affirming. That's what Kris Tyson is doing here with the hashtag positive. They're reclaiming it just like how black people did with the N-word or something. I don't really know what she's doing here. Nickmercs responds by saying, you should be ashamed of yourself, leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done. Anyway, so this interaction was captured by Keemstar and posted on Drama Alert. Nickmercs calls out Kris Tyson, shocked emoji, exclamation points. And we got, oh wow, that is, It's tough. Ava is literally always with her kid and doesn't even go on shoots to spend more time with him. Tuckman is always smiling, not sure why this rumor is a thing. So, okay, I guess Kris Tyson goes by Ava now. I didn't catch that fucking DLC or whatever. I thought the Ava Kris Tyson thing was just like optional, to be honest with you. And that might sound facetious, but like there are literally people out there who are like, I go by any pronouns. So like it's literally optional to call them what they want. So I'm honestly just going with that logic there. So anyway, you know, MrBeast says he's not sure why this rumor is a thing. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I am sure why this rumor is a thing. Not saying I agree with it or the narrative, because I don't know the story, and no one commenting on it honestly knows the story. The only people who know the story is MrBeast and Kris Tyson. But the narrative of her abandoning her wife and kid to adapt this new lifestyle is sort of like not shocking at all. Like, especially when you contrast that old photo of Kris Tyson with her wife and kid. It's like, can you not see how that picture is a stark contrast to the present reality and like the differences that are at play here? And you can't maybe like guess why people are speculating. All right, so this is all epic and Chungus pilled, but then MrBeast comes in with this reply, and then Sneako responds to MrBeast. And in case you didn't know, Sneako used to work for MrBeast actually and was in some of these videos.
I've seen her fuck other men.
So I don't want to say he's like a personal stake in this, because he doesn't, honestly, but it is interesting because they do have a relationship with each other. Sneako says, you're one of the most influential people in the world now, Jimmy. Stop pretending like this perversion is normal. You can literally save thousands of kids' lives. Now, and then you can see you're unable to view this post because this owner limits who can view their posts. This is because Kris Tyson ended up deleting these posts, beefing with Sneako, because Kris Tyson ended up responding to Sneako, and then I have it archived here. Sneako doesn't see Jimmy putting wells in Africa, helping the blind see and the deaf hear as saving lives. Only when Jimmy says trans bad will he actually make a difference in the world to Sneako. This is true. I don't think that Sneako is acknowledging all the good that MrBeast does just because MrBeast is pro-trans, which is just incredibly hypocritical. Like, objectively speaking, is MrBeast being pro-trans, does that like literally cancel out all the good deeds that he's done? I don't think so. I think that's fucking retarded. Just in the same way that if MrBeast was anti-trans and you had the trans community saying, well, MrBeast, all those good things he's done, they're good or whatever, but he's harming thousands of young trans youth and they're not going to feel comfortable with themselves. I think that's sort of irrelevant. I think you can look at all the good deeds he's done and separate those from this, you know, culture war stuff. Sneako says, if you want to pretend to be a woman, do it off camera. Do not be selfish. Do not damage Jimmy's philanthropic reputation. Do not confuse a generation of children by celebrating puberty blockers and genital mutilation. Mad Jimmy kept the and not your loser ass. Well, to be fair, it's not the best clapback from Kris Tyson, because like Sneako is very independently successful at this point. Anyway, that leads us to this clip.
And I know MrBeast, bro. You guys know that I used to do videos back in the day. Been pretty open about that. And I guarantee you, if I could gamble and I could bet, or I could just like do a lie detector, Jimmy, you know this is bullshit. You don't want to sacrifice your business. You don't want to get the liberal mob to hate you. And so maybe you even tricked yourself into believing this stuff. But in your soul, you know that this is wrong. But you're stuck. You started this business with Kris Tyson. How are you going to abandon him now? Everybody's going to know that it's the bad PR for the fact that you have a trans on your team. You don't want that. So you're stuck. And now you needed to defend this. And it's a stain on your reputation.
What is your honest opinion on Hinduism?
Do
you think it is satanic?
This TTS, just like a total non sequitur. What do you think about Hinduism? So ultimately, whether Sneako is right and MrBeast is pro-trans in a performative way, or if he's authentically pro-trans, I don't think it makes a difference. But ultimately, if you ask me, I think MrBeast is actually pro-trans. He is definitely like sacrificing a lot by being publicly in favor of this stuff, 100%. And on top of it, I mean, his literal best friend for years at this point is this way. So I don't think it's a performance, honest to God. Now, it gets even more interesting when XQC jumps in here and calls Sneako a cookie for calling out Kris Tyson. X, what do you got for us, big man? Well, really a slim man. He's a fucking skeleton, this guy.
Man, isn't it how this guy just goes for always like the easiest likes he could get? It's kind of insane. This guy is just fucking, it's so fucking ill. It's unbelievable.
What's up, bro? Is everybody here, bro?
And the Sneako guy is straight off the fucking rockers all the time. Bro is so cringe. Bro, this guy has zero integrity. Zero. What he says, what he does. Actually a cookie. a legitimate zero.
So that's what XQC jumps in with, calling him a cookie. That's a new one. Never thought of it. Guess you can go insert round object here when referring to him as a zero. Fair enough, Felix. You got him. I mean, honest to God, I think we're 0-3 for intelligent takes. Like, Kris Tyson looks brain dead. Sneako looks brain dead. XQC, I mean, this is probably the best thing we got. Like, yeah, Sneako's incredibly performative. And it is a little bit ironic for Sneako to call out MrBeast for being performative when most of the shit that Sneako parrots is it's all performative. Like, it's all fed to him from like Nick Fuentes and stuff like that. Like, none of it is stuff that he's authentically come to or is a reflection of his own lived experience. Like, it's all just kind of like, it's all been like seedlings that have sprouted and the seeds have been put there by other people, you know. It's not really his own doing. Whether that would be Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, Nick Fuentes, Zerka, all these types of people. So that is a little rich. And honestly, you know what? I said we're 0-3 for intelligent takes. Maybe we're 1-3. XQC came in here with a banger. Now, Sneako comes in by responding to XQC saying, since this stuttering retard keeps mentioning... Irony check. Holy shit. I'm cooked! I'm cooked! I'm cooked! Since this stuttering retard keeps mentioning my name, I challenge him to debate one-on-one on transgenderism. Okay, well, I will say, challenging him to a debate is just like, it's just like very low-hanging fruit. This guy lost the debate to Destiny on the age of consent and is now trying to rebound by going after XQC, just like so cringe. Ironically enough, I'm pretty sure XQC was in that call about the age of consent, so do you really want to go again with the dude who was witnessing the murder that took place? I don't know, man. People like XQC are destroying the next generation of children by supporting this demonic Zionist filth. Time to bury this topic once and for all. Alright, so first thing he says is XQC supporting demonic Zionist filth. First of all, let's just talk about like what even is Zionism. Zionism is a political and religious movement that seeks to establish a Jewish homeland in Palestine/Israel, right? You're probably hearing that word a lot because of what's happening, the conflict over there. Nothing about this has anything to do with establishing a Jewish state. I promise you, when Kris Tyson was under anesthesia getting their penis inverted, they weren't thinking like, yeah, this will be great for the expansion of Israel. I wonder what's happening with the Gaza Strip as I'm getting neutered. Like, that's not what's happening, obviously. And to further prove my point, you go to Kris Tyson's own page and she has the Palestine flag in there. So obviously Kris Tyson's not a Zionist, so it's like, it doesn't really make any sense. Now, if we're actually looking at what he's trying to say, he's using Zionist as sort of a replacement for Jewish. That's sort of like what he does nowadays. He doesn't want to say Jewish, which is weird because his audience would clap for him if he said Jewish, so I don't really understand. Maybe he's trying to hit a more mainstream audience by coding what he's saying. And if he wants to say Jewish, you know, like say that, you know, whatever, Jewish people are behind transgenderism, if that's the argument you want to make, right? Obviously, he would lose that debate too. He would have to like get Nick Fuentes to do a 2v1 and help him out on that topic. But yeah, I mean, this doesn't even make sense, you know. Zionism, like Sneako and Kris Tyson are on the same page on the Palestine conflict, so doesn't really make any sense. I don't know what XQC thinks about it. Probably doesn't think anything about it. Probably indifferent. But yeah, that's a lot of what's been going on over there. Very interesting little topic to go over. At the end of the day, Kris Tyson definitely has a cooked little career going on. I don't know. These views are atrocious. And ultimately, this whole thing is just cringe. Not much to really say here. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. I'm gonna go look at my BBL in the mirror.